Hello and welcome, everyone. We have to pardon my chuckle here. Olivia and Judson.
Hi, everyone.
Ready to tune into another wonderful live post with all of our awesome supporters and our even more awesome rescued residents. Hope everyone's enjoying their Thursday today. I see Gino and I see Sophie, and I was just chuckling a moment
Judson,
ago.
I see another white line
Exactly. Laughing because I could hear these footsteps. Yeah, I'm looking over. I thought you were looking at me, but you're still too busy looking at handsome Taras over there, Alana Aurora. Hello and welcome, everyone. It's a live post here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. We are over here in Pride Praire as we are looking forward to hanging out with lionesses Alana and Aurora. That is, if they grace us with their presence. A little preoccupied with the Ukraine Pride, it looks like right now. But nonetheless, happy to have everyone along with us. I got Olivia right here at my side. I got Julie Robbins saying hi, and Susan K. Ellen Simmons is here. Hey,
Hi,
Ellen.
everyone.
Hope everyone's enjoying their day today. And yeah, I want to hang out, talk a little bit about the Lion Sister move, talk a little bit about certainly Miracle Match, and today talk about our Miracle Match, not only our Miracle Wish during Miracle Match, but also kind of something tying into that of the 25 years that we've been celebrating and the 25 rescues we're highlighting. Today we're talking about the one and only tiger Mohan. So hoping to kind of illustrate the connective tissue between a cat like Mohan, who received lots of veterinary care here at the Wildcat Sanctuary to get him on the right track to a happy and compassionate life here, and how we're wanting to do that the same. We want cats to follow in the same footsteps of Mohan, who come here disaffected from their former lives and now able to finally live happily and healthy in their new life. So, in the meantime, let's keep on saying hi to the folks. Who's here, Olivia? Who do you see on this screen?
All right. There's a glare, Judson.
Okay.
Sarah, Lori, hello, Marcy. Good
Marcy's
afternoon.
here. Sarah's here. Sherry, Kyle, checking in from Ashland, Ohio. Hey, Sherry. I didn't know there was an Ashland, Ohio. Olivia, you're from Ashland, North Carolina.
Close. Asheville.
Okay. Leave it to Judson to fudge it up. Sherry V pointing out Mohan was a love. I miss him. I could not agree more. I obviously there's, no ranking of cats. Oh, I miss that one more, or I don't miss that one as much. And, but I think Mohan, more than anything, was one of those kind of universal cats that was able to kind of let everybody into his inner circle. And, some of the cats, I'm looking at Sophie right here, who, because of how it is, we're close to the public, and I do my best as one of the chief documenters here to take photos and take pictures of those special moments. But sometimes Sophie, lets the people in who are here on the ground into that inner circle. But with the example that Mohan would let everybody into that inner circle. And so it's no surprise that him, among so many of the special rescues that have had an impact on us, that Mohan stands out as an outlier. Uh-oh.
No, we have snow talk already going
Marcy
in
Sanborn, looks like you got blessed with a little snow in your neck of the woods out east. I think we are still expecting our snow, but maybe not as much. I'm kind of hearing...
I saw a different forecast just an hour ago,
Exactly.
Judson.
I mean, it's so, it's so hard to predict this time of year. The temperature is kind of fluctuating right at around freezing, so we either might get a lot of snow, or maybe some snow and some rain, or maybe all rain. We'll see. I'm no meteorologist, Mr. Gino. And Rayanne, I'm also, this is something that I just have to laugh about too, is whenever I would go out and do a live post with Mohan, or if we would ever share a photo of Mohan, Facebook often autocorrects his name, Mohan, into Mohammed. And so Rayanne commenting, "Hello, I caught you live. Mohammed was so special." And it just makes me laugh of kind of going through a lot of his old live posts and seeing Mohammed everywhere. And
that's a funny memory.
Yeah, and that's you all just getting excited to see Mohan, and then it's kind of changing it to Mohammed. Ooh, okay. So Daria, this is Tammy was posting on her personal Facebook.
That's what I saw.
It looks like. So Tammy and her sources are predicting 11 to 15 inches.
I think I just chose to ignore that, honestly.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yes.
Olivia took that route. I'm thinking that it could be that full amount. It could be half that amount, or it could be just a fraction of that amount. But we'll see. Olivia, I'm kind of laughing. I can peer through, and I mentioned at the beginning of the live post that I wanted to spend time with Alana and Aurora. Right now, they're in their shift. They have access to their free-roaming habitat, as you would expect. But certainly when they can be in their shift, they can be in their indoor bedroom. Guess who is right across the way from them?
Yes.
That'd be the Ukraine Pride. So the central animal buildings, essentially just have a hallway going down the middle, with kind of each side of the building having their own habitat and room connected to it, or rather the outdoor habitat's connected to the indoor room. So lo and behold, we are not nearly as exciting as a male lion like Taras, and as well as Taras's sisters for Alana and Aurora. So I'm just going to zoom out for a moment. It is nice to show and kind of illustrate, because Tammy has been talking about it on her Wildcat wrap-ups, is that, moves sometimes just aren't as simple as moving the cat. We got to do some prep in anticipation for a move. So one thing Tammy talked about is putting plywood up. Not only is it acting as a visual barrier between these cats, but certainly keeping things safe, making sure no paws, tails, ears are getting in between. If you were... perhaps you sponsor either Alana or Aurora, you would have received your update. And overall, I think you would have learned that, basically the transition from moving over from Feline Meadows to Pride Praire here was pretty smooth for the girls. I think that, they were a little uncertain. There they are, so everybody knows who I'm talking about. I think that they were a little uncertain, as you can expect with a transition like that, having to get crated and things like that. But ultimately, they've settled into their habitat well. They're curious about their neighbors. They were curious about Gino and Sophie off the get-go, but it turns out that it's really the Ukraine Pride who's kind of... the apple of their eye, if you will.
Yeah, they're pretty mellow with Gino and Sophie. Each time I've come by here, Gino's usually by the wall, so that he's in between all three girls now. Sophie on one side and Aurora and Alana across the way. Mm-hmm. That is, if they are paying attention to this end of the sanctuary.
Yeah, so, and probably too that you'll saw, and we'll be able to share photos on Facebook now that their sponsor updates went out, but they've been sure to occupy the tall reaches of their platform. I've seen them in their manger. Their habitat still has lots of tall grass, and that's only going to get more taller and full as we come into our spring and summer season. So the year is young for these gals to take full advantage of this new space, and we're so happy. Ellen's asking, is there still a partition or hallway in between them? And yes, there is. Olivia and I, as a matter of fact, are standing in that hallway. So, and you can see this is a shift separate from Gino and Sophie's shift, which is on the other side, and there are two girls. I know it's not the easiest to see, but they were just in their indoor bedroom. They heard me chatting. They came out to see what's what, but now I still think it's back to seeing what that hairy lion across the way is up to, and specifically Taras.
I love how Sophie is sitting here with us, Judson.
Yeah.
I think this speaks volumes to her and Gino's relationship and kind of how they've settled into their new space, because it wasn't too long ago that they moved also.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm just so happy to see that. Obviously, just, the fact knowing that they're, a mother and a son, and that we're able to offer them that companionship with one of their kin, but also just knowing, Tammy was mentioning this the other day even, is when we had WDIO, the Duluth News crew, that would have been the week before last to celebrate our 25th anniversary. Tammy was, we had a treat bucket prepared, rather, and if Gino was not in this habitat, Sophie would not have come up to got a treat. And so Tammy even herself was kind of taken aback by seeing Sophie, given that she had, kind of this cornerstone to give her that confidence. Gino, just like she had Kimba, I think, just among the many things that we're happy to see these two paired up, knowing that they're related. But I think more so, even if they weren't related, I'm so happy to see Sophie be empowered by having another cat with her.
Absolutely. It's nice to see her out and sunning her belly. We've seen her belly so many times the past couple weeks. And I love that she doesn't feel like she needs to flip over and maybe head inside or get somewhere more secretive, that she feels comfortable with Gino. I love that.
Olivia, Daria is asking, is Tara still ticking off his sisters?
Yes, I think is like the quickest way to put it. But Taras, he's a teenage boy. He's a teenage boy, and they're all siblings, and I think they really do have that stereotypical dynamic. He's growing into an independent boy, I'll say that, but definitely still up to their lion cub hijinks. Nothing too much has changed.
Exactly, and as you would expect from us here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, we monitor those types of interactions to make sure that they stay kind of exactly that, just some hijinks between siblings, hijinks between wildcats, and that those interactions aren't being aggressive, aren't negatively affecting his sisters. Certainly, that Taras is the only one who's separated from feeding, as we wouldn't want him to get overly possessive when it comes to feeding time, because he's certainly shown indications of that. And this is Alana, who's come out and joined us here. She's getting a drink out of her water. She's kind of right at the foot of her free-roaming habitat. We're probably going to see her make her way out, unless she probably might just settle in over there, because that's been another spot that she's realized that she can look over and see the Ukraine Pride when they're in their outdoor yard, when she can't see them in her indoor bedroom.
And Aurora is still peering through that doorway. She's cracking me up.
Yeah, so Alana here, Aurora doing a little more observing. Glad we got a little glimpse of these two gals. And of course, you can see Aurora sitting inside of her shift. She has access to her bedroom, she has access to her habitat, and she is doing exactly what she wants to do, and that is minding the lions next door. So that is just fine, and I think that's a good segue. We gave a little update, got to get some lion time in. I think it's a good time to get the wheels moving and start on a sanctuary stroll and talk a little bit about Mohan the tiger, and I hope maybe as I walk. Oh, hey, Miss Aurora.
I heard you.
You heard that you were gonna leave? I heard that you were gonna leave.
Judson, it just hit me that not only are there a bunch of lions over here now in Pride Praire, but all of them, with the exception of Sophie, are young lions, and so. Very, very funny mannerisms, hard to predict.
Very much so. Yes. And I did not know that these lions spoke anything other than lion. Well, it's almost like they're listening to me. But Aurora, you can see there, kind of sauntering out, seeing what her sister's up to. And these two truly are kind of sisters in the truest sense of the word, of they're one another's shadow. Where one wants to be, the other one will follow suit. And if one's playing with a toy, the other one wants to come play with a toy. If one's maybe getting some human socialization time, the other one's sure to come up. It's certainly a special bond that these two sisters have, and we are so glad that they get to, live the rest of their lives sharing that bond with one another. And look at that, 140 people watching us right now. So happy to have all of you along with us. As you can see, you are tuned in live to the Wildcat Sanctuary. Those are two of our rescued residents, Alana and Aurora, enjoying a nice sunny afternoon. We've been hanging out with Sophie and Gino, and we've been talking a little cat updates. We've been talking a little bit about some of the things that have been happening here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Certainly some construction updates to give too. I'm going to try my best in Tammy's stead to give some type of updates. Obviously it's Thursday and we typically have our Wildcat wrap-ups, but happy to be doing a sanctuary stroll. Happy to be talking Miracle Match and double donations, and how that support and the same support that we gave cats like Mohan all those years back are gonna stand up to make a difference for the cats we have here now.
Yeah, we'll still cover a lot today. It's our own wrap-up, Judson.
It is. I know. I should have brought some notes with me or something. I feel like
that's why we have each other. We can help each other out.
Exactly. And the comments are just exploding here, too. Yeah. So I appreciate everyone joining in on the conversation here. And just give me a moment to make sure I acknowledge everyone before we get moving. Sheila Corin Smith commenting just how gorgeous Alana and Aurora look. And, Naomi saying, I wish they could run wild, but I say they are more safe here. And Naomi, we appreciate those types of condolences and very simply understanding the fact that we are a rescue for wildcats and we are right there with you and that we want all animals to be wild and free and that we didn't put these animals here in captivity, is that we are trying to stop that kind of chain of cats ending up in captivity because of exploitation, because of falling into private hands. We're trying to right those wrongs. So just know that we couldn't agree with you more, and we appreciate you sharing that same sentiment here, is that we're happy that these cats are here so we can share your support, so we can share our expertise with them and make sure that despite the fact or how their life started, that it's going to end in the best fashion that it could ever end. So let's see, Miss Olivia. Been doing a little talking. Try to get through some more comments. I get a little nervous about walking sometimes.
Me too. I'm a little nervous too, but
so that's
we're hanging on.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to go through the comments one more time. Yes. But as always, I love the sense of community that you all create here. And even too, just getting those conversations happening in the comments is going to help propel this type of post into the social media algorithm and make more people aware to what's happening here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Make people more excited about wanting to make a difference for cats like here. So we appreciate that a lot. Well, who do we have here?
Well, speaking of white tigers and bellies, a few things we've talked about so far.
Yep, there's
look at that.
Pandora watching over her
two boys.
I was gonna say her two boy toy. And I apologize, and I was just about to mention Pandora that she probably didn't hear us coming, because this special gal is one of our senior geriatric tigers, and you're a little hard for hearing these days, pretty girl. So you might have seen her, and I should have done a little bit better of a job of maybe coming from a different angle, but you might have seen that I slightly startled her, and I apologize for that, Pandora. But just as we talk about our rescues and how they came here, and Olivia pointing out younger cats over there, Sophie being the outlier, we're home to a lot of senior geriatric cats like Miss Pandora here. And we know that a cat like Pandora, oh boy, we know that a cat like Pandora doesn't care about a human like me. All she cares about are two handsome white tigers over here.
Yeah. Sweet Pandora. She did come up and give us a chuff, though. That was
yes,
very polite,
I appreciate
Pandora.
You giving us a chuff after I gave you a little spooky scary. And then this is always a fun comparison to see on the live too, is just the size difference between Simon and Jeremy and petite little Pandora.
Oh, it just makes me so happy. I love this for them.
And so, if anyone watched we posted a video on Mohan earlier today. It was actually kind of bits and pieces of a live post Tammy did with Mohan way back when, after his rescue. And this is the very habitat that you saw him being led into. And I kind of weeded out and had to kind of trim up the clip for social media. But there was indeed a part of that post where Mohan met the big bad white tiger brothers, Simon and Jeremy, through this shared wall right here. And Mohan, who was an unneutered male at the time, despite his mobility issues, despite him being, a little bit older than these two young, formidable tigers, Mohan held his own and was actually pretty assertive and pretty dominant over the two, which actually Mohan became so assertive over the two that, as a matter of fact, he was then moved over to what is now Tao's habitat, right next to Shadow. So that was a fun little kind of time capsule memory flash as I saw an orange tiger next to those white tigers. It was just today I was looking at Mohan interact with those two.
Exactly like this, like you said. along this wall. But yes, I thought it was interesting. Mohan, he sauntered right up. I think it was Jeremy at the first part of the clip. And they were kind of rubbing heads, but Mohan was very, very attentive to what was going on.
Yeah, he was kind of dropping his head down, and you could see his ears flattening out. You know, and for a cat like Mohan, who tragically, because of, you know, the life that he lived here before coming to the sanctuary, living at a facility with pages and pages of USDA violations, veterinary care that he never received, Mohan had every reason, you know, to not be a resilient tiger, to not be, you know, the tiger, you know, to feel like a tiger and to feel like a dominant tiger. And so happy that he was able to, you know, kind of have some semblance of that, which he very much deserved. Let's see, Olivia, should we go this way or that way? I'm you know,
I'm a little hesitant for the right side.
I do get nervous too, but so maybe we can head over this way.
I think, and then we can always circle
exactly.
Back
and if things bode well, then we'll be able to kind of keep the party going.
Beautiful day here today, Judson.
It is. So it certainly is gorgeous out here, and we're so happy to have everyone along with us live. Kind of want to segue and start talking about Mohan. Olivia, would you be able to do me a huge favor?
Yes.
And see, we're going to do a little teamwork. Would you be able to find Mohan's plaque in the Memorial Pavilion?
Okay, I will do that.
Be very awesome. Francisco Lopez asking, where are you guys located? Francisco, we are located in Sandstone, Minnesota, here in the United States, and we are a forever home for wildcats in need. And because of that, we are closed to the public. Our rescues come first, and we're so happy that people like you get to engage with our cats from afar and learn about what we do here, engage in our mission, so we can continue to make a difference for the cats here. And right now, Olivia's helping me out, and maybe for some of you are unfamiliar, and as we often talk about, is that the cats who come through here and get to benefit from your care and your support at the Wildcat Sanctuary are incredibly special to us. And we remember them throughout the rest of our days. And one of the ways that we like remembering the cats is creating what we call these plaques. These plaques are made for them when they pass. We also have a rock made in their likeness. And every single one of our rescues has this plaque. And this is here in our Memorial Pavilion, where every single cat who is called the Wildcat Sanctuary home has their own plaque. When we are kind of having those meditative days, we can come and refill our cup and remind ourselves just all that we have accomplished here as a sanctuary and as a community for these animals. And as you can imagine, it's been 25 years of rescuing, so I asked Olivia to help me find Mohan.
There's lots of beautiful
because not in a bad way, but it takes a second to kind of go through here and track down the cat that you're looking for. But here he is, the one and only Tiger Mohan. He has that big, old, blocky head that we all knew him as. And, you know, I think Mohan probably, you know, defines the phrase gentle giant. Just as I was saying earlier, Mohan had a really, really tough start to his life. And he had every single reason to resent humans, to be closed off. But he was the farthest thing from that. He was social. He was willing to heal. He was willing to share his just beautiful self with everyone. And glad that today, among all of these days throughout Miracle Match, that we're getting to celebrate a cat like Mohan. Life moves fast, Miss Shadow, and you got to take a second to realize, you know, where we've come and what we're thankful for, and why we should keep putting one foot in front of the other. Yeah.
Well, Judson, I didn't know Mohan, and you kind of just spoke to his character and what he was like a little bit, but he was one of the cats that stuck out to you, if I'm remembering correctly, when you first came to the sanctuary. So what specifically stuck out about him to you? Yeah,
well, I mean, I think to kind of, you know, to say the first thing that comes to my mind, and it undoubtedly, I'm sure, stuck out to a lot of people, and that I think that you would expect a tiger to be able to walk. And Mohan had severe mobility issues. Just as I mentioned, he came from that facility in Michigan that had pages and pages of USDA violations. It was the cause of his mobility issues was these torn cruciate ligaments in his knees that were never surgically repaired, so they became calcified. So Mohan essentially was unable to bend his knees. So very simply, Olivia, I think it was the fact that, coming here to the Wildcat Sanctuary and seeing a cat like Mohan who struggled to walk. And I think it was very jarring to me that there are systems in place out there that let a wild animal get to that type of condition without there being any repercussions. And then knowing that now that Mohan's here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, that something like that would never happen to him again, that we're going to try to kind of patch him up, if you will, the best that we can. So yeah, very simply, I think it would be just realizing why Mohan is the way he is, and that's even a possibility in this world.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But it speaks to everything that you all do and what your support goes towards, because Mohan's life was truly changed. His life completely changed its trajectory. And I think about Daisy, too, who came along with him, who also had untreated medical issues and was near death. So it is heartbreaking to think about people letting things get that bad, especially to an animal who is innocent and they aren't choosing to be in captivity. But then we have these pretty moments like here with Shadow, peaceful, and that's the silver lining of it all.
Exactly. And you remember those, certainly you remember the rescue stories, but you also remember the special moments. And Daria pointing out how we're here with Shadow now, and how Shadow, and we like, we like this about Shadow. Shadow, I think she's friendly around people, but Shadow can be very particular about other cats. And through the years, we've had to be very selective about who lives along a shared wall with Shadow. And of course, the one cat who was maybe able to cut to Shadow's core a little bit more than some of the others was Mohan. He would sit right along that fence. He would chuff, 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 and just beg for Shadow's attention. And Shadow, kind of based off some of the interactions I've seen her have with other cats, I remember Dash living in that habitat. Yeah, Shadow would be very opinionated about who would be living next to her, and the fact that that she was willing to maybe see that Mohan was truly, like I said, one of those gentle giants, and just wanted to socialize with her, just wanted to spend some time with a fellow rescued TWS cat, and for Shadow to open up like that was very special. Pretty girl.
Look at her paws.
Yes, very prim very and polite. Proper, yes. Miss Shadow. Looking at these crossed paws here. And so happy to have kind of such a large and consistent audience with us today. Welcome, everyone. You're tuned in live to the Wildcat Sanctuary. Not only is it a sanctuary stroll, but it is a stroll down memory lane today as we are talking about one of our many beloved rescues, Tiger Mohan, and particularly talking about his story, talking about all that he, the impact that he made on us here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, and how we are so proud to be honoring his legacy for the cats here still at the Wildcat Sanctuary and those yet to come. And especially now, Miss Shadow, talking about honoring legacies and making a difference for the cats here, is the fact that donations are going twice as far for our rescues. And when you give a gift for a cat like Shadow, it's going to go 2 times as far. And that's just very simply something that is awesome. It's something that doesn't happen every day here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Miracle Match and double donations are only happening from now until April 30th. So, Shadow, I think she says you better get excited about it, just as excited as I'm getting about hearing a UTV in the distance. She says, all right, I think so. Shadow. All right, Miss Shadow. Let's see here. Onward and forward. Hey, here's Miss Tao across the way. Hey, pretty girl.
I'm going down the list in my head, Judson. We've talked about Mohan. We've talked about lion updates. I think you mentioned construction too.
Yes. Is that obviously we are still kind of prepping. Rather, I shouldn't say prepping. We're underway. Catio Town and Cat Moves, as Tammy has talked about. And essentially, the kind of first complete bungalow teardown, from what I can tell, is now complete. They have all of the outdoor, kind of habitat torn down, and now they have kind of the first bungalow strapped up to the Bobcat to be moved. And kind of moved out of the way, rather, because that's a newer bungalow that you helped us purchase, not one of the old decrepit ones. And so that one's going to be moved out of the way for the Catio Town construction to get placed. And I think that's going to be about 4 or 5 more of those bungalows are going to be completely demolished. This was the only one that was usable, Miss Tao.
But I think that's a good point, Judson. We appreciate your donations so much, and they do go a long way. And I've been seeing, even just in the beginning of all this construction, saving fence paneling, saving these bungalows, saving what we can so we can repurpose it and so more cats can benefit from your kindness, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that's a great thing to point out, Olivia, is that, certainly to our donors, we have a fiscal responsibility for how we're spending their donor dollars. And this cycled is awesome and cost effective too when it comes to construction these days.
Miss Tao here in the UTV too, it seems.
Tao is here in the UTV. And I was hearing a bawl across the way from White Tiger Thor. And I can see Miss Winona here, and we're probably having a little live post inception right now. If you're watching watchwildcats.com, maybe you can see us.
Hi, pretty girl.
Hey, pretty lady. She says, I'm ready to stalk ya.
Yeah.
Oh, well, those were the days, Miss Winona. I remember when it would have been Shanti Deva in this habitat and Mohan right across the way. And those are two very special cats. I have all types of memories as you kind of walk around here. Let me catch up too on some comments. Kristen Strong saying, Tao says, now you see me, now you don't. Tao can be elusive like that, can't she? Admittedly, when Olivia and I kind of case the sanctuary to see maybe what could be a good live post layout for us, and I'm pretty shocked to see Tao not completely kind of like starfish and laid out in the sun in her habitat. So
lots of chatting from Winona.
And I love seeing that. Thank you, Daria, and thank you, Ellen, answering a question that we often get here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, asking if we're a no-contact facility. And so I appreciate you two answering those questions, and exactly that. Winona is a tiger, and she does not deserve to be touched, nor is it safe to touch her, as well as it's misleading for what we do here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Many of our rescues are coming from situations where they've been exploited for photo opportunities, for bottle feeding opportunities. So if I were to reach out and touch this rescued tiger, that is only defeating the purpose of our mission, which is to try to right the wrongs of what is a compassionate interaction with a wild animal. And why these cats are here and how we don't want them here. We eventually want to put ourselves out of business, and that means educating, Miss Winona. Very, very kind of you, pretty lady. The starfish, that's how you sleep, Marcy. Daria asking, who are Nova's and Alyssa's neighbors since they switched habitats? So, since Nova and Alyssa just did a flip-flop, Tammy does a good move, Miss Winona. Tammy gave a good update last week on how we had noticed a limp in Lilac or Alyssa, and they've since switched habitats, and so it would be Alyssa is now next to Indie and Nova is right next to Dash. Yeah. Exactly. I'm listening to, I'm hearing you talking in one ear, I'm hearing a tiger talking in the other ear,
and you're reading.
Yeah, and I kind of just had like my brain started slowing down for a moment.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We're doing good. But yes, Alyssa is now by Tigress Indie, and Nova is by Dash.
And the thinking was Alyssa was showing a little bit of a limp on one of her front legs. And the thinking there was that Alyssa's guillotine door leading through her shift, those the kind of the square doors that you'll see the cats walking through, was a little smaller for her. Nova's has a larger one, and so it looked like she might have been knocking that foot as she was walking through her guillotine. So kind of the idea behind that move is not only giving her a larger shift area to kind of recover without putting too much impact on that leg, as well as it having a larger guillotine door where there's not going to be any type of knocking of paws. Yeah.
Just one of the many ways that we're looking out for the cats.
Exactly.
Yes.
How are Alyssa and Indie doing? I think Alyssa is pretty passive when it comes to stuff like that, and I think that's great with a cat like Alyssa, is that she's really a team player when it comes to us, having the ability to move her like that, and her just not really giving a darn, and we're happy for that. Thor says, I'm paying attention to something. It's not Winona because she's right here. But Thor he's got a bee in his bonnet about something here. But that is just fine. And thank you for providing that link, Faith. It's linking right to a little kind of write-up on our website about why we are a no-contact sanctuary. That'll kind of help just illustrate the kind of many reasons why it is just not responsible and not safe for either me or the cat to interact with them by touching them. Winona, we are out of here, pretty lady. Maybe Alana and Aurora have stretched out in their habitat a little bit more, and we can get a glimpse of them.
It looks like it. Hopefully we won't jinx it. It would be nice to have a full circle moment.
That is right. But I appreciate everyone kind of checking in and asking their questions. I'm doing my best for a Wildcat wrap-up within my means, at least. We know that Tammy is the true kind of Wildcat Sanctuary brain trust. I don't think we'd expect anything less from the founding executive director to know everything and anything that's happening here. Glad she's enjoying a couple of days of PTO. That'd be today and tomorrow. And it looks like you have stretched out into your habitat, pretty lady. So here's Alana and Aurora. Aurora says, I'm more of a cabana gal today. My thumbs are getting cold here, Olivia. I'm having trouble zooming there for a moment.
Do you want to switch? It looks like Sophie might be on her back, too.
Okay, yeah. I do.
You say the word, Judson, and we can
my little fingers can take it, Olivia. Okay. I appreciate it, though. Yes. Jennifer Howard, how's big boy Tarek doing? Tarek is doing his same old big boy self, marching around, wondering when we're going to flip over his pool and when it's going to be pool season. But Tarek's doing great. He and Paulina are holding down the fort over in Wild Woodlands. It is usually the day isn't complete until both Tarek and Paulina have gone and shared some time with one another along their shared wall. So that's always special seeing. But I'm gonna quiet down for a moment. I'm gonna zoom in. Gino and Sophie are about as comfortable gets. Sophie is got her belly up and baking in the sun, and I could not imagine a more comfortable position to be getting a lion suntan, Miss Sophie. And just as we were talking about Sophie at the beginning of the post, how she's one of our more guarded rescues, and the fact that she's able to let her proverbial hair down. I love that. Cheryl Harden, solar panels activated. She's able to let that hair down and feel that she can be that vulnerable. Just so awesome. Ricky Lay pointing out living their best life. Thank you for such high praise, Ricky. Snug as a bug in a rug. Hey, I like that, Maria. I like that. Hey, Kelly, glad to have you with us. This is Sophie and Sophie and Gino slice of life. Makes me so happy.
Hey, Kelly.
Hey, Kelly. We love seeing you, hearing from you, and we are so glad that those two are cheering up your day.
Katie, we just need you to copy. So, go ahead.
Oh, thank you, Olivia. All righty. Well, as I'm kind of winding down, getting ready to put up the landing gear, dismount from this live post, Olivia. We've kind of talked about Mohan. We've kind of talked about line updates, and truthfully, we talked about Mohan and really what the type of situation he came from and how he was affected by his previous life without receiving medical care, living at this facility with pages and pages of USDA violations. But it wasn't until Mohan came here and shared the love and support from you that his life was able to improve. And I think that if there's any type of, just message to leave you with, it would be the fact that you are the difference for the cats here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. The people on the ground we move through your support, and we are enabled through your support. And, as we just look back onto what we've accomplished, that's what I would like everyone to kind of take away from these moments of you are the difference for the cats around here. And we are so, so thankful for, the new beginnings, the much deserved endings, and all the in-betweens that you provide for the rescues here at TWS.
Couldn't have said it any better, Judson. That was very nice. I couldn't agree more.
Look at this. The girls are slinking around. Well, it was a fun live post, everyone. I need to get careful talking about memories like Mr. Mohan here. I might end up, might be getting a little teary-eyed here, a little misty-eyed, but we'll be all right. We'll be all right. Everyone, thank you again for tuning in live with us today, sharing some memories on Mohans, hearing some updates on the cats that you all do so much to support. But I think with Alana resting on her platform, we have Aurora here resting under the cabana. I think that's a perfect way to conclude our live post and celebrate all of the peaceful moments and happy endings that you make possible. So, Ellen, Susan Mensa, Sherry V, Ricky Lay, thanks for those 100 stars on the way out, Maria Stahl, Wendy Howes, and everyone else joining us. Thank you for making it another day of living wild at heart here at the Wildcat Sanctuary.